Dun, down, down.
Now on from 8 to 10 a.m., it's Grit and Grace with Jennifer and Merideth.
You like that? Oh, I know. Okay, I'm going to tweak it because
We're still here.
Watch out. No, you are not losing it, guys. And no, there's no time change just yet. It's after 9 o'clock, and we are here still because we're here till 10 o'clock. What? Man, and that was some good hustle, too, because my girl Jen had to go to the ladies' room.
Yes.
So for a minute, I was like, is she praying or is she catching her breath? I couldn't tell. You know, sometimes you never know. Oh, that reminds me, I saw this funny YouTube video about praying and catching your breath. No, about, going to church, what kind of church hands you have, because, with churches and how they praise.
Yes.
And it was just the most comical thing. I got to find it. I'm going to tell y'all about it and show you after the show because I can't even think of the guy's name.
That's so funny. Napoleon Dynamite?
No.
Oh, man, I just saw a meme on Facebook yesterday, I think it was.
Yeah.
About church hands.
Yeah, did you? Okay,
You know?
so this one is like the guy, and he does this little skit, whatever. It's just so cute how he's like, so you first start out in your pocket, and then you're like, holding the baby, and then you're doing this, and then hold the football, and all that, and then number one, give it to God, touchdown, like all this. It was so blooming cute, and not until I moved out here into the country did I really get to relate to that because, I come from, and of course every church is different. The church I came from in Houston is a little bit more reserved.
Right.
So I hadn't seen praise hands before, in my church. But out here, you will find praise hands and amens all over. Much
Yes.
love to Don DeGaulle. Yeah, because he was the first amener that I hear. And then now Miss Jackie at church. And I mean, I just
Come on now.
I know. I love it. I love it. So it's just so great. But anyway, totally random. But I don't know. Were you praying or catching your breath?
I was catching my breath.
That's so
Because
funny.
I literally ran to the restroom and I ran back.
I know. Well, and it's our
Trying to beat the
clock.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
Trying to beat our promos and PSAs.
I know. Well, and of course, it's our first day going
Yes.
2 hours. So we're still learning the ropes and trying to get because we do like to certainly visit with our guests. But God bless Rick. We were like, we love you. We're going to use the picture. All right. Out of And okay, so we're gonna have to rework this plan. Watch out.
Peace out.
I know. I'm like, So that being said, much love to Rick for coming out because
Yes.
he is such a pro. I mean, I know he works so hard, and to get up on a Saturday morning when this is his day to sleep in this weather. You were saying that fog. Ooh.
Yes.
It would be nice to sleep in, but what's better than that is being able to be here with you, Mama. Because
I agree.
I know, and it's something you love when you get up at the crack of dawn on a Saturday morning when you could be sleeping in.
You got that right.
Thank you, Jen.
You know how much I love you because
I know. Well, and how much we love our
Saturday
listeners.
morning and I'm still getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I know. So more or less, we do not sleep in because between church and our gigs on Saturday, we just don't sleep. But you know what? Sleep can happen later on, right? Although I may partake in a nap today.
I think so.
I know. I'm like,
I hear it.
I hear the
Calling my name.
I gotta get really. Dang, me and my sound effects. I'm really crummy at them. I much love to sound effect people because I cannot do it. That was my growl, by the way.
You have a whole board of buttons.
I know.
You always forget to pull them up.
My buttons. And that reminds me last night at the game. Okay, because if you're listening to the 8 o'clock hour, we were sharing about things going on, and I was at the Montgomery High School game last night and had a good time. One of the things is, the band's right next to us, so they're like hooping and hollering. And I've learned through time and through Zumba class that I only have one hoot where it's like, woo, like I can't, change it up. But our girl Carla, she does like, woo, woo, like, or something, and I cannot get it. Like, I feel like I sound like a dolphin. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know what it is. But anyway, so hilarious. So she was, she had the business eyes
Yes.
on for the most part of the game.
Yes.
But at the fourth quarter, she was able, it was probably in the middle of the fourth quarter, God bless. She came in and just sat down, it was the last few minutes of the game. And so when she stood up, it's just so cute because most of the game, everyone around us, like all we heard was the band. And then I did one time because it's very contagious when people whoop around you that you can't help but whoop too.
Right.
But then I saw the embarrassing eyes from my son. I tried to keep the whoop inside. But then when Carla gets out there, and it was just so adorable because I tried to mimic her and I sounded like a crazy dolphin / barking noise. And people just looked at me like I was weird. I was like, I can't help it. I try to. So much love to Carla and all the whoopers. Do it again for me. I can't do it. Oh, man, I love it. I love it. Okay, yeah. And don't worry.
You sound like a seal.
See, I know I can't do it. See, I want more sound effect skills. Lord, let that happen in my next life, please. Okay, and to sing. Maybe that's what it is. You got to know how to sing, too.
I don't know.
Okay. She's like, I don't know, Meredith. All right, well, okay, we're here o'clock. We're here o'clock. Don't worry, we have not been drinking anything but coffee. No, we're here from 9 to 10 as well. Yeah, you got your Dr. Pepper. That's true. So from 8 to 10, now officially started today. Super excited. So we got some new material, and I wanted to share some things because I don't know about you, but during Harvey, times were tough. I was sitting and eating a whole lot, and I don't think it was just me because I'm hearing.
No. It was not just you.
Yeah, because I'm hearing more of the commercials. Everybody's talking about weight loss. Now, of course, we're also getting into, not necessarily summer season, but I find that, the schedule before the holidays, during the holidays.
Yeah, I was going to say we're coming into the holiday season.
Yes, and, of course, I was like talking to myself last night. I was like, you cannot give in to the treats this year because, I have to regulate, mama's not getting younger. And I got to make sure I don't have as many treats because that's when I do usually gain 5-10 pounds, and it's so but it's so good, all the great food and a lot of homemade stuff, and it's just really so anyway, that being said, I thought we should share some healthy tips, okay, because I want us to kind of get back in the groove. So I've just started kind of getting back in the groove, and I wanted to share a few things about it. So this is something that when I found, because I was looking up some music that would go along with it, so I was like, man, what would be a good having some having some food songs or something like that. And this is what came to mind. Foodalicious. Super foodalicious. Thank you, YouTube, and all the people that create things. Foodalicious.
It is important to have the following food groups in your diet every day.
What?
Super duper foodalicious. Eating healthy is nutritious. If you want to run and play, eat these food groups every day. Super duper foodalicious.
And it's got a nice little beat.
If you want to run and play, eat these food groups every day.
5 or more servings.
Okay, I'm sorry. I could totally keep that going, but I know a lot of our listeners are like, what in the world?
Rice, pasta, and cereal.
Yeah, they're
It's
like,
cereal.
come on with it.
It's cereal. Okay, so yeah, we've got some foodalicious tips too, or as the song was saying, super foodalicious. That being said, so I'm going to kick it off if you don't mind,
Okay.
Mama. Okay. So I love starch foods, carbs. Okay. That's definitely my downfall between that and cheese. I mean, that could be it. Now, I love some meat too, don't get me wrong. But if you gave me a nice little baguette and a chunk of cheese, Mama's happy, and a Coke with ice and a straw. Oh, sorry, I'm getting hungry. That sounds good. Sorry. So we're going to flip that, right? Because we're trying to change our... I'm like, don't get caught up in it. So what I have discovered and this is not something new, but just want to remind listeners, little healthy kind of this or that kind of things. I think one of the best replacements is cauliflower.
Yes.
You chop that baby up, make it real fine, and word to the wise parents, you can trick your kids thinking macaroni and cheese with cauliflower, instead of the pasta, and cheese, a low-fat cheese, that it will actually go a long way, and you get some veggies in there. Now, I think that's one of my go-tos because it's so bland, but are you a cauliflower lover?
Love. It's one of my favorite things.
Really?
Oh, yes. It's one of my favorite things. And there's so many different ways that you can do it. You can do it like rice. You can do it like mashed potatoes. You like macaroni and cheese.
Oh, I need to try the mashed potatoes. I hadn't tried that. I mean, I do I don't puree it, but fine it, chop, a little chop. Right.
Well, we like loaded mashed potatoes with bacon and cheese and sour cream,
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Same thing. Just replace the potatoes with cauliflower. You just mash it up after you kind of steam it. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try that. Well, and then I've seen because you know how you can do corn on the grill, can you do that with cauliflower?
Yeah.
Because I've seen
There's a lot of vegetables you can do that. Just brush it with a little bit of olive oil and then put it on the grill.
My boy.
And I've actually seen where they make what they call cauliflower steaks. So they cut the head of cauliflower in thick, like 1-inch thick little steaks and grill them.
Ooh, see, I think that would be better. Not that I am a vegetarian, but you know how that, what was that vegetarian thing? Not the meat, but it's the replacement meat, the
Tofu?
Tofu. See, to me, that would be a better tofu than tofu, like, right? I mean, I've never tried tofu, but I hear it's...
I haven't really either, but I have always heard that tofu kind of takes on the taste of whatever you mix it with.
Okay.
So it has no flavor.
Okay. I don't see the value in it then, because the vegetable cauliflower does the same thing,
Right.
so I feel like that has more, kind of a nutrients than it would. I mean, I assume. Listeners, you tell us if I'm wrong, and frankly tell us, if it's good, because I have not tried it. I don't know.
Right.
But I do like cauliflower because it's a lighter, very mild, as they say. I almost said bland, a mild vegetable. And so I love using that as kind of a replacement. And it makes it kind of a guilt-free,
Right.
Now, of course, don't go overboard with the other stuff, because that's where, your baked potato, I'm thinking, yeah, but I have to stop myself from saying, oh, well, I'm using cauliflower so I could put extra cheese or extra sour cream, so that's where I have to regulate on myself. But what are some of the tips maybe you could share with our listeners?
Well, and this is something that I'm very, very guilty of, and I'm trying to correct that. But it's drinking more water.
Oh, yes.
Our body is made up of 75% water. And then we're putting coffee and tea and soda and all of that stuff in there that dehydrates us. And so it's really depleting our water. So I am trying to drink more water. I've decided I only get a Dr. Pepper once a week, and that's on Saturday mornings, because I have it for my show.
Aw, well,
Yeah,
and
so I'm trying to drink more water.
see, and you are really good about when you set your mind on something, you're pretty disciplined about it. And I try my best to do that. I start with the water, but then it becomes a challenge, because you're right, and that's one of the things that actually my son, my favorite habits of his is he drinks water most of the time. Now, he's getting into, teenager years, so he does like to have a soda, but I tell him all the time, I'm like, that's the best habit you have. Please stay with the water, right?
Right.
But you're so right. And, I've actually, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners, if you go on Facebook or YouTube, there's videos about, people and how they look after like 28 days of drinking water and stuff. And it just blows my mind how, and even watching it, of
Your
course.
skin looks better.
Yeah. Maybe I need to do that. Just think, because you're
It helps to flush toxins out of your body.
Why are you looking at me like that? Do I look toxic?
I'm looking at you because you're my co-host,
Oh, okay. I was like,
and we're having a conversation.
are you
here.
calling me toxic?
Yeah, I am now.
That's gonna be our next line. Toxic's coming in. No, no. I think that's such a great tip, and it's one of those things that we always forget.
Yes.
Because it's well, I do anyway, because it should be ingrained and be natural, because that's how it should be, kind of thing.
Right.
So no, thank you so much. Because another thing that again, trying to think back about good habits growing up, the water for my son, and I need to do that myself. I mean, I'm definitely guilty, obviously, of not doing the best in the habits. But
Right.
I grew up also. I don't know if you were a product of this, but the happy plate.
Yes.
Yeah. So growing up, that means that, your mom or dad or whatever would be like, you have to finish your plate of dinner or whatever before you can have XYZ, whether it be an activity or even, dessert,
Right.
which was the irony. So that being said, yeah, I totally have happy plate syndrome. So I really have to watch myself and make sure that I get smaller plates. And I have a technique, which I think you've seen me do it at restaurants before, where I will literally like put my napkin like all up in my plate, like mess it up so that I can't touch it anymore. Because if it's sitting there, I'll keep eating. And so I have a technique where, and I'm not trying to be rude to any of the, I'm not like making a mess, don't get me wrong, but it's my way of being like, no more touchy. Because if it's there, then I will still keep nibbling. So do you have that problem?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I really try to, but on that note, especially whenever you're at home, use a smaller plate.
Yeah. And plus, I love small
And
stuff.
I do that. I've tried to do that. I don't do it all the time, but I've tried to do that. Use a smaller plate instead of the big plate. You could put the same amount on the smaller plate, but it tricks your mind into thinking that you have all this food. So it helps you to, scale back on your portion.
That is so true. And I love that because particularly one of the, I'm a kind of a quirky lady. One of the things is I love little food and I love little, like the little appetizer forks, like the small things.
Yes.
And so I love little plates. So all of that together. And even like when we have yogurt or, whatever, I get out my small spoons from when my boy was a baby. I still kept them because I like the little ones. So I could just use it. It makes it feel like I'm having more and lasting it longer, a little cup of yogurt. So you're right. I need to do more of it and, more or less talking about it to share with our listeners, but also remind myself like, hey, mama, don't eat everything in the sink,
Right.
It's just like, oh, good night. So that's something I definitely want to recommend and again, a lot of our listeners are going to know these tips, right? But we were here to remind you because 'tis the season, meaning 'tis the season, the holidays are coming up. 'Tis the season. We need to make sure we're putting ourselves in check. And personally, just me, I'm going on a cruise in November, so I need to make sure I am at my best.
That's right.
Well, and my best being of me, because, you can only do so much with the God gave you. You know what I mean?
The bootay.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, ooh, I know it's radio, but if you can't tell, I'm bottom heavy. Watch out. That being said, yeah, so what other tips you think some of our listeners could take up on?
Well, you were talking about, replacing pasta with cauliflower.
Right.
So you can actually replace meat on a burger, for instance, with like portobello mushrooms, caps, the big ones, because they are, if you've never eaten a portobello mushroom, they are very beefy.
Yeah.
And so you get the big caps, you can grill them just like you would a burger and put it between the buns and with all your stuff. And it's like having a burger.
And didn't think of that because I forget. I've had, listen, I've had vegetarian friends in my life. And they do consider the mushroom like the meat of,
especially portobellos. Those tend to be the beefiest I have found.
Yeah. So because you can get those at the Heeb, right?
Yes.
Like you don't have to go anywhere fancy?
No.
Okay, cool. So I'm
usually they package them like they do the meat, but they'll be like two, and the caps are like
they're big face mushrooms.
Like a patty, size of a hamburger patty, and there's usually two in a package, I think.
Call them big face mushrooms, but okay.
Yeah,
patty mushrooms. No, I love that.
Yeah.
Now. Okay, so I want to try that. And listeners, if you have done it, please let us know because I want to try it, but I don't want to, invest in the fancy unless I know it's good. So hit us up on Facebook. We've been gabbing, but we forget to tell our listeners about how they can connect with us. So do you mind telling them real quick, Jen?
Yeah. Facebook, Instagram is Grit and Grace Texas. Twitter, Grit and Grace Tex, TEX, because they wouldn't give us the A and the S. Check us out on our YouTube channel, also Grit and Grace Texas. And you can find us on Our City TV on Suddenlink Channel 12.
I know. It's so great. So you got to check out the schedule on irlonestar.com to find out more.
Yes.
And something new also, which, we just because we keep go, there's so much to talk about. But we do want everyone to know that we do have opportunities for people if they want to sponsor certain segments or be title sponsor for the show. So those are going to be posted on the website irlonestar.com soon. So if you're interested, please check it out because, like I said, those were just released, the rates for 2017, 2018, and, looking to see who wants to, certainly get involved for some sponsorship of Grit and Grace. We welcome you to check out irlonestar.com for that, as well as just the information for the schedule for us to be on because we are everywhere too. I mean, we're going live on air Saturday mornings, but we're also on YouTube channel, just taking over social media thanks to this girl right here. Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome.
And then also for Our City TV. So it's a great time to be a part of Conroe and certainly Lone Star Community Radio. So thank you so much, listeners, and thank you so much for being, certainly all over us, making sure we, stick around for more time. So we're here till 10 o'clock. It's so exciting. Yay!
I know.
Well, and really, we need to take a break because I know we shared about some health tips, but I think we've got to really also kind of go into I don't know if we're going to go maybe Dreamland or what other. Oh, yeah. You know what?
We got to share the sweetness.
Share the sweetness. Thank you, Mama. Okay, so y'all stay tuned. We've got more coming up of Grit and Grace. We're going to share the sweetness, so you're going to want to stay tuned to find out more. Talk to you in a few.